Well, hello, and welcome back, y'all. Today, I'm going to attempt to make a duplex in the town of Innisgreen. And I'm going to do my best to make the exterior, at least, kind of match up with the surrounding area. I'm not great at doing that, but I think on this one, I think I nailed it. You got to let me know down below if you think I did. Or if you think I didn't. Either way, you can let me know. I'm not sure. Anyway, I did get going on this. I got the boxes made, I guess. And then I had the hardest time with those dang stairs. I'm sure you saw. I could not get them to stack on top of each other. I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't sure why it wasn't working. So I had to look it up online. And I found another video of somebody who was doing the stairs stacked up like that. And I eventually figured it out by watching their video. So, yeah. But anyway, it ended up working out. And then I had to decide on the floor plan for all three floors of this side of the duplex. And now I was having a little trouble because it was kind of on the narrow side, not very, very narrow, but on the narrow side. So I did have a little difficulty trying to figure it out, trying to balance it out and figure out where I'm going to put what bedrooms and how many bedrooms. Once I got on the top floor, I realized, oh my gosh, I've got plenty of room for 2 bedrooms and a full bath. So I did that and I went to town with it. I did kind of finagle it just a little bit once I got into the decorating, but then the second floor, it needed to be adjusted as well. I thought about leaving the bathroom like a 2x3, but then I was like, why do I need to do that? I don't. We can have a nice big ensuite bathroom and it's going to look fantastic. But then it was at that point that I thought, you know what if we put the bed on the other side of the house? I was like, nope. And I went right back to the way I had it initially. Because I thought, we could have like the office at the top of the stairs. But anyway, I changed my mind on that. And of course, from here, I went on to start roofing the building. Now, the part that I had a really tough time was with that facade that all the buildings in the area have. And I ended up using move objects and pulling it away from the wall. But in doing that, I realized I had to have a nice trim, a nice big trim around it so it didn't look like it was hanging over. So that meant that I had to have medium wall height, which I did not want to have, but I needed the trim more than I needed the wall height. So I ended up putting it on medium wall height, and I just worked with it as best I could. Then I had to start roofing the part on the left. Now, the struggle that I was having was trying to make it match the building that was directly behind it, the pink and red end there. I was trying to match that roofing concept on this side, and Lord have mercy, it didn't work. It did not work, not one iota. I swear I tried so hard, and it was so frustrating. I think at one point I had to get up and completely walk away, turn off my game, and come back to it a little later because the frustration was just, it was frustrating. The frustration was frustrating. And still, I don't know how they were able to accomplish that roofing style. If somebody here has done that roofing style, let me know how you did it, please. But of course, when you mess around with the roof somehow or whatever, I think what it was is that I changed the wall height from normal or regular wall height to medium wall height. It screwed my stairs up. And when it screwed up my stairs on the unit on the left, there was no way to fix it, to be able to still have the stairs where I wanted them and how I wanted them. So the bottom floor is a normal wall height, but the other two levels are medium wall height. Now, as you can see here, I did end up just saying screw it, and I did a simple angled roof like that, and that was like the easiest thing that I could have ever done in my life. I'm so happy I did it. And then, of course, I found the closest color to that same roof black and did that on the platform that I added, so that way it kind of matched up. I didn't like the little spiky things that I put up there though. It wasn't working right. So I kind of went through to try to find something similar that was short, and I did, but it just, I don't know. It didn't work for me. It looked bad. And every time I tried to put it down, it wasn't going down where I wanted it. So I can't remember. I think, if I remember correctly, which I could be wrong, but I think I just took everything. Yeah, I took everything away and I just made the roof. One piece and done. That was it. And I said, screw it, that's good enough. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I did make it just like a regular angle and called it done. I ended up not keeping the platform. I didn't need it anymore. I was just going to do what I felt looked decent and forgot about trying to match it up to the rest of the world around. I don't know why I was still trying to use 3 roof pieces, because I didn't realize at this point you don't need all 3 roof pieces. Excuse me. But I did end up taking the other 2 away and just leaving the one on the end, and it fine, done, perfect, beautiful, moving on. And then I went to color the walls. And the first spread that I picked it and matched, and I couldn't understand why. And then I looked at the swatches a little carefully and ended up picking the right swatch. Now the windows, I do go back and change because they were way too big to be on the lower level. On the second and third level, they would have been fine. But on the lower level, they were just way too big. So I switched it to the other businesses and hobbies windows, and then I just changed all the windows to that, and it looked so much better. And I'm glad I did it. So glad I did it. And then, of course, here now I'm just adding the little like chimney type thing that all the other buildings around had. I loved how that looked. Turned out great first time around. And my thought with the backyard was, or with both of the backyards, was to have the smaller unit on the left, the yellow one, have a bigger backyard, and the larger unit have a smaller backyard. I felt that was only fair for the tenants to kind of, okay, you get the bigger house, but I get the bigger yard. So there you go. I did have to change where the back door was on both of them, I believe. Once I started to lay out the actual furniture that I was going to use, because, you know, being the kitchen, the windows, the door, there was a lot going on. So I had to kind of refinagle that around a little bit to make it work. And here, this is where I'm trying to figure out the stairs, how the stairwell is going to work on the unit on the left. And it took me forever because it was so much smaller. So it was a lot more difficult for me. And I do like how the stairs are, but oh my word, the unit on the left was so painful. It really was. I moved around that furniture, I don't know how many times. The living room had like 4 different places, or 3 different places. So did the kitchen, so did the dining room. What I ended up with looked fairly decent. I'm still not happy with it, but it's what I had, what I could manage to do. So I left it, and I just said, you know what? Stop fretting over this build. It's okay. It's just a build. It's fine. Life will go on. So I went on, and I moved on to the next step. I did want to open up the stairwell to the bottom, but as soon as I did that, I realized, oh, that's the bathroom. So couldn't do that. So I blocked it off, and you've got that weird little indent on the stairwell upstairs, but it's fine. I just put in a bookcase or something, and it looked pretty cool. But here in just a minute, we're going to go through the entire walkthrough. Make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe. Don't go anywhere, and just blink. I'm all done. And I love how it turned out. It was fun to do. God, I gotta quit saying that every single video, but it really was fun to do. Not too much changed on the buildings themselves. I did add some cages to the windows on the front on the smaller duplex, and some kind of basic floral things on the duplex on the right. I did add some landscaping, and I forgot the terrain paint. Let me do that real quick. Okay, I fixed it. Anyway, there is a stark difference between the left and the right as far as terrain paint and landscaping goes. On the left, the sim that lives here is a single man or a single sim who doesn't necessarily have all the time in the world to take care of his lawn. As you can see, there is tons of overgrown grass. He doesn't water it very well or take care of it in any way, shape, or form. So there's a lot of dirt patches around and everything. In the back, as a side job to make extra cash, he does do some woodworking. So he's got his few boxes of items that he'll need to do woodworking. You can see his workbench is very well used. He's scraped up and messed up the wall with the stuff that he does. And he's got his tools out here to do all his stuff. And these are projects that he is planning to work on, including the dolly that he needs to use to move those items from one place to the other. But he does have a telescope for work, so that's always good. But he does have a nice little place to sit out here and eat the barbecue that he has on his grill. Now, his back patio also is kind of stained up and messed up a little bit, but it is what it is, right? Right. So on the right duplex, they have nicely manicured landscapes and flowers. The kids can use the swing set. They've got a nice grill out here. One of the little kiddos likes to play marbles outside. They have a nice table to eat what they've barbecued or made for dinner or lunch or breakfast. But they also have a floral arranging table with some plant pots over here to plant some flowers because one of them likes to do floral arranging. So that's nice too. And as you can see, their back patio is nicely kept. That's always a plus for a landlord. I'm not saying the sim on the left is a bad person. They just don't have time to do things. So let's go in and take a look at his first, and then we shall go to the one on the right. So if we go in through the front door, as you can see, this is the entryway. Got a lot of light wood throughout the home. He's got his coat and hat over there, his shoes by the door, drops off his stuff there. Mail he hasn't gone through quite yet, but he does have a radio, his prized stuffed duck that he shot one day, an award for work that he got. We've got a nice blue sofa here with a tiny little table with some stuff on it. TV with work papers, and he does play video games occasionally, and some more magazines over there. The kitchen is back here at the end of the house. It's not very small at all, but it's definitely not as big as the one next door. This is a smaller unit, but he's got groceries he hasn't put away yet, some canisters up on the little shelf, and other things over here, his lunch that he's getting ready for tomorrow. He's got an older appliances over here, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. And then around the little corner here, we have a little table with a little candle. And he's not an artistic type person. He doesn't understand how to decorate very, very well. He does his best, but he thought that was art, the perfect piece of artwork to put in that corner. Oops. So now over here by the front door is the half bath. So you've got the toilet and the sink, and that's about it. Nothing else. So there you go. But then we go up the stairs all the way around. And again, we've got the landing over here with a little computer desk. Nothing too big, but he's got his bookcase there with some decor on it. Like I said, he's not the best of decorating his house, but he does his best. And then computer with all his stuff, and then his bedroom. We walk in. He's got a plant right there. He does like plants, just, he's just not good at keeping up with the outdoor stuff. But he's got a camera there, some more work papers. He's got a mess on the floor he hasn't cleaned up yet, and then his bed with some more artwork that he chose that he thought would be perfect for his bedroom. And through here is his own personal bathroom, which actually looks really cute. Nothing spectacular, just simple, kind of base gamey-ish. It's not actually base game, but, it's close enough. Anyway, we walk out here and we go to the neighbor's house that is separated by this gorgeous gate. And we go into their house, and there is a stark difference between the two buildings, or the two units. This one here, this is their living room, and I used from the sleek bathroom kit that, bathroom wall, I guess, bathroom shelf. I just doubled it up so that it would fit nicely behind the couches. I like that. I think it gives it a really unique look. So there's 4 behind this one and I think 6 behind that one. They've got their own little Roomba, got some really cool sofas or a sofa and love seat. Got a nice rug that matches almost perfectly and I love it. Modern lamp over there. We got the swooshy curtains with the curtain rod that goes all the way across. I love doing that. Got their entryway stuff over here. We have a nice fireplace with a nice radio and a plant on the wall and on the shelf, the TV, dining room table for 4 with a beautiful little centerpiece there. And then the kitchen has a little bit of clutter. The kids have been in the cereal, no big deal. And got an open counter there and then some more clutter over here, including the coffee mugs in the corner there for the coffee pot. Now they have stainless steel appliances. So there you go. They have a pretty nice little kitchen. So as I said, the one next door is a little bit smaller. So the dining area, the kitchen, the living room, it's all bigger on this one. And then this is their half bath, which is a 2x2, and it's just basic bathroom. Nothing special. Then we go upstairs to the second floor. We are here on the landing of the second floor of this unit, and we've got some stuff on the wall here. They went on a trip to Japan as a family, and they got some things that they wanted to display. You'll see more of that as we keep going. They've got another picture over there. We've got these gorgeous curtains that look so cool with those, I call them curtain rods. I don't exactly know what they're called, but they look so cool on there. And then we've got the desk. It's a family used computer, so everybody in the family can use it. And then 2 bookshelves that are cluttered up with stuff, a plant, and some clutter on the desk. It's a pretty nice little area, if you ask me. And then here, this is the parents' bedroom. It's very bright, very pretty. We've got more decor. We've got just a little bit of clutter, bookshelf, place to sit and read or put on your shoes, whatever the case may be. We have some lamps, a little bit of clutter on the dresser and the nightstands, a plant, and some more decor on the walls. And I used these curtains because I love them. They're so pretty. I really, 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 really like them. Can you tell? I like them. I'm sure you did not know that. Now we go upstairs to the 3rd floor, and this is where the girls have their bedrooms. There are 2 girls. One is a teen, and one is a kind of just out of toddlerhood child. Through this door is their shared bathroom. So they've got the double sink with, some of their own personal clutter there. Not a whole lot, which is great. This bedroom here is the youngest of the 2 girls. She just got out of toddlerhood, so she is a young child, but she does want to learn how to knit. So she's got her own little knitting basket there. She's got her water bottle and diary next to her on the bed, curtains. She's got sakura tree, I believe. I think that's right. Or is it a cherry blossom? I don't know. Either way, they got that when they were in Japan. A little bit more decor. She's got her toy house there, and she's got her dresser full of her own personal little clutter. The last thing that she made when she was a toddler in, daycare or whatever, some pictures that she's printed off in her old little toys there that she does still play with, even though she tells her parents she doesn't, but she won't get rid of them. So, yeah. And this is the teen girl's room. She's kind of into the country kind of lifestyle, I guess, but she likes to be like a sophisticated country girl, I guess. So we've got her bed and a little bit of clutter on her nightstand. She likes to do needlepoint. So she's got her cross stitching basket down there. She's got her makeup and her jewelry on her vanity. Beautiful lamp. She's got some Japanese artwork that she got when they were down there. And then clutter on her desk that is suiting for her, as well as a handful of board games that she and her sister will play from time to time. So that is the full walkthrough. I know it was kind of quick, and I'm sorry, but it is cool. I really, really like it. I'll show you from the top down so you can get a better idea of the layout. So here is the top floor. On the right is the teen bedroom, the young child, their shared bathroom, and the landing. On the second floor is the parents' bedroom, their personal bathroom, ensuite bathroom, and then the shared computer. And then downstairs on the main floor is the kitchen, half bath, dining, and living room area. And on the left, we have the entryway here with the spare bathroom, the living sort of area, dining area, and kitchen. And upstairs is the main bedroom and their ensuite bathroom with the little computer in that landing. So that is the whole build. I'm telling you, once I got this roof finally figured out, it was easiest. It was so easy, so easy. I got through it pretty quick. Well, I wouldn't stop pretty quick, but I got through the rest of it with less stress, at least. Anyway, I hope that you got a little bit of inspiration from this and that you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any and all comments, questions, and suggestions down below. Make sure you hit like, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, y'all, have fun.